2025 is over and a lot happened last year. I moved out of my parents' house, got married, even started a podcast with my friends. It was a busy year, but I still made time for playing some video games. So today I'm going to cover my top 10 games I played in 2025. Before we get into it though, be aware that these are just games I played last year, not only games that released last year. There's no way I can afford to play 10 games that released in 2025, both from a time and money perspective. So this is what you get. Starting at number 10, It Takes Two. It actually took me several years to try this game out, but everyone who played this game seemed to love it. And after playing it, I have to agree. The developers had a ton of great gameplay ideas for each section of the game, giving your character different power-ups that are creative, and they don't overstay their welcome. Sometimes I wish that they would repeat some older, more interesting ideas, but all in all, it's an excellent platformer, an awesome way to spend time with your wife, even if she's not the most experienced player. Number 9, Yoshi's Island. Going way back to the prehistoric era with this one. Since I was a kid, I've always liked Yoshi games, and I know they're not the best games, especially the recent ones, but they're nice and short, and that can be nice when you find yourself in the middle of a bloated AAA game. I've dabbled in this game for a couple of years now, but I determined that I would finally finish it, and that is worth doing. What is there to say about Yoshi's Island that hasn't been said? It's a solid platformer with some interesting mechanics you just don't see in Mario. Now I just gotta finally finish Woolly World. Number 8, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. This entry may be a little weird. I could see how people wouldn't consider this to be anything more than a glorified walking simulator. However, it's a funny, sarcastic walking simulator that pokes fun at video game tropes and expectations. I just really liked it, man. I don't know. If you haven't played it, I'd say it's worth a go, but if you want to save some cash, perhaps you could just watch someone else play it on YouTube. It's got a ton of different endings based on your choices, and despite the appearance of the game, it's really interesting. Number 7, Marvel Rivals Zombie Mode. I'm not a competitive guy, at least in video games. I don't love online gaming. I especially don't love the hero shooter Overwatch stuff that's been flooding the market. That being said, Zombies mode in Marvel Rivals was really fun. Take a couple of heroes from the base game, give them a skill tree along with some special abilities exclusive to this mode, and you got yourself an addicting, mindlessly entertaining experience that you can have with your friends. And you don't even have to be good at Marvel Rivals. I know I'm not. Just choose Blade, hold down right trigger, and go crazy. There's technically a little more to it than that, especially when you get into the harder difficulties, but you'll find yourself getting MVP over and over again. Yeah, the Nightmare modes are a little intense, I have to be honest. I won't go into it here since I am actually planning to make a video on Nightmare 4, even though you can't even play this mode anymore. So I'll just say, please bring Zombies mode back to Marvel Rivals. I'm no good at any of the other games. Number 6, Mario Kart World. As divisive as this game and Nintendo are at this point, I gotta admit, the Mario Kart World is still a fun game. And before you go to the comments and accuse me of supporting Nintendo by purchasing an $80 game, know that A, I got this game in the bundle, so it basically cost $50. 2, I didn't even buy this, since my friends bought a Switch 2 as a wedding gift for me. And D, I'm a big fan of Nintendo games. That doesn't mean I support their business decisions. It means I still believe they make great video game experiences. Now, is this game better than Mario Kart 8? That's for you guys to argue about kindly in the comments. But at the end of the day, it's got some fun courses to race on, a big world with admittedly little to do, but still enjoyable to mess around in, and some incredible music that celebrates all of Mario's mainline adventures. Seriously, there's no reason for the music to go so hard. I also love the emphasis on crazy tricks and shortcuts. It's actually somewhat encouraged now. Lakitu is still a little too handsy for my liking, but at least you can go a tiny bit off track, unlike Mario Kart 8. Number 5, Kirby Star-Crossed World. I wasn't really sure what to expect with all these Switch 2 editions of games. Like, am I getting DLC or just a graphics patch that costs $10? Seriously, what the heck, Metroid? Lucky for me, Star-Crossed World did actually add some content. 2 new levels per world, plus a boss fight, that equals about 13 new levels. Oh, and a new boss rush that's actually a pretty decent challenge. All that for $20? That's not the worst DLC I've bought. I think I honestly would prefer it to be $10, $15, but I'd also prefer my Switch games to actually use the fancy new graphics on the $500 system I have, instead of forcing me to shell out $10 extra for better frames. Number 4, God of War and God of War Ragnarok. I'm cheating a little bit here, but I wanted to talk about both and include other games on this list. Also, I played these back to back, so it all kind of blends together for me. Both games are incredible adventures with a good story and tight combat. I think the story really shines in 2018, while Ragnarok's plot is all over the place. If you think the first game is highly dependent on go here and grab a MacGuffin to do this other thing and get another MacGuffin, then I think you'll like the second game's story even less. However, Ragnarok has even more epic combat, so I can't complain. They've even got this whole Valhalla mode, which really locks in on the combat with some roguelike elements. It's really awesome. For whatever reason, I got so into Ragnarok's gameplay that I did all the side quests, which is crazy because I couldn't be more uninterested in the side quest from 2018. So all in all, I love both of these games, and hopefully they pump out a new sequel soon. Number 3, Astrobot. Okay, this game is absolutely incredible. It's by far one of the best 3D platformers I've ever played. If you've got a PS5, this is one of the few must-plays. Every single idea they have is just good. Every gameplay mechanic sticks around just long enough to feel fresh. This is another game where I say I'll make a video talking about it eventually and never get around to doing. But this whole game is dripping in personality, and it's just one of the most fun games I've played in a long time. Number 2, Donkey Kong Bonanza. You know, it's a bummer that this game came out when it did, because all the discourse is just hating on Nintendo, and rightfully so. Does the company deserve heavy criticism? Absolutely. But that doesn't mean we can't enjoy this amazing platformer and sing its praises. Donkey Kong Bonanza is the perfect sequel to Super Mario Odyssey. The platforming is tight, the soundtrack is bumping, the game is just fun. I love collecting bananas and being able to upgrade DK's skills. And you can use the fossils that you collect to purchase different abilities that enhance your other skills and stuff. The levels are gorgeous. Need I go on? Again, it's a shame it's not called Mario Bonanza, because if it was, everyone would have bought a Switch 2 and played it. The sad fact is, DK's just not as popular, and this game came out at a bad time for Nintendo. It also doesn't help that Nintendo released paid DLC literally 2 months after the game came out. Not cool. Finally, at number 1, Hollow Knight. Did you guys know that Silksong actually exists? Isn't it a weird world? Hollow Knight Silksong came out, and apparently, it's way bigger and better than the original. I was so excited when I heard the news that I actually got around to playing the first game for the very first time, and man, I was missing out. You know how there's so many indie Metroidvania games out there, since Metroid and Castlevania just don't make games anymore? Yeah, this one takes the cake. First off, the mood of this game is on point. The atmosphere, music, the settings, it's all just melancholy and beautiful. There's this really cool game mechanic where each hit you land on an enemy builds up soul, which can be used to heal you or make even deadlier attacks. You've got badges here to customize your play style. There's also just so much content in this game. There's a boss rush arena where you can play harder versions of bosses if you want. You can even play the harder version of the boss, plus they one-shot kill you if you're just a masochist. The lore is kind of cryptic and depressing and everything you would want in a game like this. So yeah, Hollow Knight is my game of the year in 2025 because I didn't get around to the sequel, which is apparently everything you expect and way more. So I am looking forward to playing that this coming year. Normally this would be the part where I make some honorable mentions, but it's come to my attention that there is no Nerdstitution's top 10 games of 2024. It doesn't exist. So I'll take the next minute to rapid fire through my top 10 games I played in 2024. NES Remix. Speaking of rapid fire, this game is Deathloop, a decent Groundhog Day game. Henry Stickmin, where losing is pretty fun. Sifu, everybody is kung fu fighting. Resident Evil 7, I platinumed this game for no reason, and also played through it 4 times. Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door, awesome RPG remake. Rogue Legacy 2, I only got to play it 5 times before it was removed from PS Plus. Balatro, I can quit whenever I want to. Or really, I can. Animal Well, an absolutely incredible Metroidvania with the very best mood. Liza P, Bloodborne Pinocchio, I also platinumed this one and played it thrice. Well, there you have it. That's my top 10 video games of 2025 and also 2024. Please be sure to let me know what your favorite games were last year down in the comments. Also, as I mentioned before, I have a podcast with my friends. We chat about video games, movies, food, the Bible, pretty much everything, honestly. So I'll include a link to that if you want to check that out. I'd really greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys are staying warm this winter. I know I'm not. It's blasting cold out there. That's how you know global warming's a scam. So I hope you guys have a great day, and until next time, take care.